Hello. My hair's kind of damp. I am in some very rustly curtains right now because I literally don't have anywhere else to film this in my house that has good lighting, that like if I take this curtain away, then basically what I'm saying is I don't want to clean my room, but I want to make this video. So yeah, the point of this video is I want to rank the scam remakes. So I'm gonna be like ranking the remakes, starting with like least favorite and then to favorite. I don't really want to say least favorite, like they're all good and I like them all for different reasons. I just like some of them better than the others, and like there's, you know, different elements that like make them good, different things I didn't like and I did like, and I guess I'm just basing this off of like which ones have the most things that I didn't like versus I did like, you know. I have all these notes. They're literally in 2 different languages. So yeah. I want to say a little disclaimer. I have not watched Scam Italy. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of people have very strong feelings about it and I want to eventually. I just haven't. So I'm just gonna start right off. The first, or number 6, I guess, is gonna be Scam Austin. I debated not putting it in the list. I feel like I can't really have an opinion on Scam Austin because I live in Austin. I don't want to really like judge it. Only thing I have to say is I do want to see Shay's season, so get on that. That's all I have to say. Okay, coming in hot, number 5. Scam France. What I want to say right off the bat about this remake is that the first 2 seasons are basically just a copy of the original, but they took out the 2 things that like make the original like very unique, which is the soundtrack and the acting, like the having young amateur actors. Everyone in Scam France is like over 20, like at the beginning of the show. They don't seem like high schoolers to me because of that. Like they're all too old. They're not, I think only a few of them were discovered by Scam France and not like already professional actors, you know? So one thing I did like, I did really enjoy, I don't know, I can never remember his name. Guy who played Lucas.
This is his name. It's Axel.
His acting, very good. One of the redeemable qualities about Scam France is that there are some very good acting moments in that, and I mean, it's because they got professional actors. One of the few scenes that has actually made me like almost cry in any Scam remake, the scene where Iman and Sofyan are dancing on that rooftop, that hurted my heart, but like in a good way, but like in a sad way. I was just like, shit. I did watch Scam France in real time, season 3 and 4. I watched season 2 part of the way through, but I just couldn't because, haha, another point. I hate Charles. See my pen? If there is a list of every, you know, William character, I rank them. Not only is he at the bottom, no matter how many Williams there will be in the future, if there are more remakes, he will always be at the bottom. I cannot stress this enough. Besides every iteration of William's brother, probably my least favorite character in any Scam remake. And the fact that he basically like wouldn't let Manon, I don't know how to say her name, but wouldn't let her go to the police because the guy who sexually assaulted her was his brother. Are you kidding me? He said she'd ruin his life. And then, in season 4, they get back together and they don't talk about that at all. They don't mention it. They're not like, oh yeah, remember when Charles was like the absolute worst person ever and told Manna not to report her sexual assault to the police because it was his brother? No, we just forgot about that apparently. Like, that just never happened. I have no words for that. However, I'm very excited to see where they go with season 5 and 6 because we've never had an original season from a remake. I'm not too excited that that's coming from Skam France, but it is. And I enjoyed the seasons that I watched while I was watching them. Like, I was entertained. Like, if I went back and watched it, I just wouldn't want to. Like, I'd be bored. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I realized you probably don't get what I'm saying. What I am saying is I enjoyed it while I was watching it, but I don't want to go back and watch it because I feel like I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I did when I actually watched it. Yeah. Okay.
So, that's that. That actually hurt. Before we go on, I have a cactus, but I forgot that I owned a cactus, so now it's dead. Because it was in my windowsill behind my curtains, and I can't see behind my curtains, so I forgot that I owned it, and it died. Anyways, number 4, what the fuck? I'm gonna say, I have to preface, again, I have to confess that I have not watched the first season. I've watched the 2nd, 3rd, and not 4th. My foot is falling asleep very badly right now. Ow. This remake has managed to simultaneously have the best and the worst soundtrack out of any Skam remake. The fact that they can put Hozier and Lil Nas X, or however you say it, in the same episode astounds me. Like, honestly, that's bravery. That's bold. Good job, bros. But, like, also, what the fuck? What the fuck? So, I'm gonna say Senna, I don't know, Senna, whatever. All their names, like, end weirdly. But Senna is the only good William remake ever. So I'd say Alex is on thin ice, but the rest of them are shit. I don't know about the Italian one. I've heard that people like him, so maybe he's good. But, like, there's Senna, and then there's Alex, and then there's a little pile of shit, and that's all the rest of them. So, yeah, that's my ranking of the William characters. Thanks for watching. Senna is, like, the only valid man to ever exist in any Skam remake ever. This remake is the only remake that has ever made me cry, besides the original, has ever made me cry, like, full tears. And it was because of that awful scene where Rob and Sander are leaving the bar. I started crying before I even knew what was gonna happen. I started crying while they were just, like, walking, like, out of the bar. I started crying and I didn't know why. That door slam, the way that the door slams before they show them outside that bar is so fucking eerie to me. Like, it made me, like, actually feel uncomfortable. I was like, shit's about to happen. Like, that door slam just, like, I don't know why, so fucking eerie. That scene to me was probably one of the most unique scenes in any Skam remake that I've ever seen. Is that a good thing? We don't know yet.
So I'm gonna stop right here and say I didn't mean that situation in any way could ever be good or anything good could come out of it. I just meant that we don't know whether or not it will be addressed in season 4 and whether or not it will be addressed in a good way. So yeah.
But it it sure did happen. All right. Number 3, Skam Netherlands. We all love the look of Skam Netherlands. I mean, there's no way not to like how it looks. It just looks like the cinematography, the color palette, everything just like works. It looks amazing. It's probably the most like visually pleasing remake that there is. Everything that goes into it is very like, you can tell that they put a lot of thought into how they want it to look, and it worked. I mean, it looks incredible. It probably wouldn't be so high up on my list if it didn't have this look behind it, because I feel like it just adds to like how it makes you feel, I guess. It has the most unique female characters out of any Skam remake, which are Yana and Ezra. Basically have never been seen in any kind of Skam remake. They're just very different.
Totally unique, completely not ever been done before.
I liked that Yana is bi, but like she actually acknowledges it, you know. Ezra, I just like her energy. I like her wardrobe. Both of their wardrobes are like very interesting to me, because it's not like something you'd ever really expect from a Skam remake. Most of the remakes, their wardrobes could never compare to Skam Netherlands. Never. Because Skam Netherlands really just went out there with the wardrobe. I don't know who's on their wardrobe team, who came up with all this. I don't know, but they look fucking good. They look amazing. I'm spending like a solid 10 minutes here just talking about how visually pleasing Skam Netherlands is. I haven't even like gotten into it at all. Angle. I just love her, that's it. Like the fact that she saw Liv and Noah kissing and she was like, it's okay. I was like, that's literally like, that erased so much drama, so much unneeded drama in the season that like honestly took away from the original season with Nora, with her sexual assault storyline. All this Vilda shit was just kind of in the way. The acting in that dressing room scene was very good. Thank you. I really like, I felt that like when she was helping Liv, I felt that. I really liked that they had a connection, Liv and Engel, that we never saw between Nora and Vilda. Nora like tried to help Vilda, you know, not form an eating disorder, but like it kind of just faded away, whereas in this one like you could really tell that Liv was like really trying to help Engel. And like there's a scene where they're in the kitchen and like they're just hugging each other and like it's just, they're so sweet. I love them. So it's a bit negative, but Liv and Noah were toxic to each other. The fact that Liv had to basically bend over backwards to get back with Noah after she was assaulted makes absolutely no sense to me. The fact that she went in that fucking wedding dress, like I get the joke and I get like where it was coming from. It's just everything about this remake felt very realistic to me. I feel like they really let everyone have freedom, which made it more realistic, and then they just sort of forced that random storyline in the wedding dress thing. It wasn't even a storyline, just that scene in, which was very unnecessary. Like I feel like if she had just gone to him and like really talked to him instead of like just walking up being in a wedding dress and then oh they kissed. She did literally nothing wrong and then she had to go and do that to get him back. It just didn't make any sense.
Hi, I was editing and I realized that I didn't mention the most important part of this remake, which was that Eskild, just showing up. Like, he was just there at that party. So, yeah.
Number 2 is Druck, Scam Germany. I want to preface that I actually haven't seen the first season. I've seen the second, third, and fourth. The first season is probably my least favorite out of, the 4 of the original. So I don't really tend to watch the remakes of the first seasons because of that. Druck hit me personally the most emotionally because I just went through what they went through with, like, graduating school, leaving your friends, all that. I really liked that they did that. And it's like their last year in high school. And I just thought that was really interesting to me because, like, I just went through that. So, like, I don't know. It was just, it felt better to me than, like, the original where it kind of closes at, like, a random point in their school years. I'm pretty sure originally the original series was supposed to go until the end of their school years. So, like, I don't know, it's just kind of disappointing to me that it never did. So the fact that we got to see them, like, graduate and we saw all that was just, like, I don't know, I really liked it. Druck gave me 2 of the most pointless yet amazing storylines in any Scam remake, which was the Stefan storyline and Mia's 4th season storyline. So, first of all, Stefan. We all thought he was gonna be this awful person. He just ends up being some cool dude who wanted to date Hannah, who just, like, no one liked for some reason. And then he just got left to cry into his salad when Hannah broke up with him. And then that was the end of Stefan's character. He had, like, 3 scenes. Everyone thought that he was going to be, like, some big character, like some bad, like some antagonist character, but nope. So they literally just put him there to push Jonas and Hannah together, which I thought was really funny to me. And then Mia's storyline in season 4, where she just was like, yeah, I don't like Alex anymore. We gonna go date a girl. I feel like they kind of wanted to force her into being in a relationship with a girl because she was bi, and they were like, oh my god, we have to, like, prove that she's bi, which, like, isn't the case at all, as probably most of people watching this know. That's not the case. Like, you don't have to prove anything to be bi, but they, like, put her in this, like, weird place where, like, she just broke up with Alex, and then, like, a week later she's, like, getting together with this girl who, like, I mean, I respect that, live your life, but, like, I don't know, it was just weird writing to me. Season 2 was probably the most engaging version of season 2 that I've ever seen. I really liked Alex. I really liked how they had Alex really, like, showing more emotion than any other version of William has, especially because he seemed sort of distant and, like, emotionless at the beginning of the season, and then you could just see, like, the development, I guess, of his character. And then the fact that they, instead of making the William's brother character William's brother, they didn't make him William's brother. It was Alex's dead sister's ex-boyfriend, I think, who, like, basically drove her to suicide. So, like, that's very different than a brother. And I liked how they did that because it took kind of, like, the personal aspect out of it, and it really, like, helped with at least, like, the storyline of how you should react when something like this happens to you versus how, like, Nora reacted because she didn't know what to do because it was William's brother. So, like, the fact that it's just this random dude is kind of, like, it's different. It's different. It worked well. And then the fact that the fight that Alex got into was him smashing his skateboard, like, over that dude's head was a very good decision because it followed the plot very well. It also showed Mia, like, that, you know, Alex wasn't just fighting to fight. Like, he had very strong beef with this dude for driving his sister to suicide. Which, I mean, if I saw someone in public that drove one of my, you know, close relatives or just friends to do anything close to that, like, what would you do? I gotta say. Season 3. Listen, I love David so much. Like, you don't understand. That boy's just like, we got our trans Evan. We got our trans Evan. That's all I have to say. It's the best line of any character in any scam was the one where he says, I have to like sort of like kind of quote it because I don't know exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines of, I am a boy, I just have to work harder. I'm pretty sure the actor Lucas came up with that quote, and like, that's just like, I don't know, it was just like one of the best quotes ever. Like, I feel like that's just like a very accurate way to talk about that. And then the fact that he got to come out to Mateo, there wasn't any sort of like there was that dramatic outing, which I didn't enjoy, but it wasn't an outing to Mateo. Mateo already knew was very important to me, because that would have just been like an awful way to do that story. Season 4 was good, but they ended Amira's story after like 7 episodes. Like, they didn't give her enough time in that season, and I didn't like that. Like, I really didn't like that. The fact that they went back to Mia for like a week, I don't know why they did that. It didn't make sense. Like, if they wanted to wrap up the character stories, they should have done it with all of them and not just been like, okay, here's Mia. No one really liked the Nora storyline in Sana's season in the first place. So the fact that they like amplified that in the 4th season, like, no one wanted that. And it was really sad to me, because I actually like really enjoyed where that season was going with Muhammad and Amira together. So I don't know, it was just, I didn't like it. The last thing I have to say about Druck is Billie Eilish. That's all I have to say. I want to go back and just count the amount of times that they've used a Billie Eilish song in Druck, because it's so much. Like, it's astounding to me how much they used Billie Eilish. When, like, I mean, I like Billie Eilish, but like, wow. Wow. The hot take of the century, number 1 on my list, Scam Espana. It's definitely not Tumblr's favorite, which is like, or Twitter, or any social media that I use that I see people post about this show on. So, sorry about that. Sorry about it. But Scam Espana to me is everything that I want in Scam. Everything I wanted from the original, they put into this. Everything I didn't want, they took out. Like, it's just, I don't know, it just perfectly shows teenagers and who they are. Also, it's not fake. Nothing about it seems fake to me. Like, there are parts of every other remake where I'm like, yeah, that seems fake, that seems unrealistic. So I want to say there are a lot of characters in Scam Espana that I didn't like, and like, that's a good thing. That's what makes it so fucking dynamic to me, is like, I really hated Viri in the first season. Like, I couldn't stand her, and she's had a lot of growth since then. Same with, I think Jorge is probably the best Jonas character that there is ever. He was kind of a shitty person in the first season, but you can see that he's just a teenage boy, you know? He's such a good friend to Lucas. He's just like a really good person. He's trying his best. He just like, he's fucked up a lot, which like is relatable to people. The fact that they made Chris into the Aesop character was honestly like one of the best moves ever. Being able to show 2 girls instead of 2 guys was just really important to me. As a human lesbian, that was important to me. Also, side note, the way that the characters use social media is very interesting to me because it's like, it's accurate. It's really accurate. And then the fact that Lucas has a YouTube channel with what, like 100,000 or more subscribers?
It's 166,000. Wow.
And I'm sure a lot of those don't even know that like this is the YouTube channel of a character from a show. It's just really interesting to me because it shows to me that he seems like a realistic person. A person of his age will have made something like this. I really liked the like good grades dance thing that Chris did. I don't know, I'll like insert a little bit of a clip of that here. Was very like on brand for like Gen Z type humor. Their social media game is just like chef's kiss. Back to my point, the fact that they had 2 girls falling in love in this season instead of 2 guys. It's important to show both, but we've seen the same story that many times. So it was just it was about time is all I have to say. That was just very important for me to see. Not only for me, but I feel like for a lot of young women to see. If I can imagine if I had seen this show like 5 years ago, it would have like this would have been the best thing I've ever seen. If I'd seen it 5 years ago, like this would have changed my life probably. So, not to get deep, but yeah. The mental illness storyline was very well done also. The fact that they had Joanna talk to Chris about it instead of being like traumatically, outed, as you could say, in her mental illness. Like she told Chris about it, no one else told her. They didn't have some dramatic like big scene where like in the original where Evan runs off naked. Like I'm really glad they didn't have that shit because that just wouldn't have made sense for Joanna and how her mental illness affects her. She has borderline personality disorder, which is it's pretty different to being bipolar. So it was portrayed differently and like effectively in that way. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Scam Espana. So we done with this video. I guess I have been recording for an hour. Oh my god, this is gonna be so much fun to cut down. Anyways, this is just a little, but not very little, video on the Skam remakes and what I think of them. And I know that a lot of people have different opinions than me, so like let me know. I'm willing to discuss this shit. Skam is very interesting to me, especially the fact that it has so many different iterations, so like you can see how different places and different people like perceive the original Skam and how they would like to change it, how they, it's a really interesting thing to me. It's like its own universe basically. So yeah, the Skam cinematic universe, SCU. In the Skam cinematic universe, in Skam lore. I'm out. Bye.